Welcome to your Monday, November 24th morning update. My name's Steve McDonald. I'm the owner, editor, etc. at GraniteCroc.com. And today we'd like to talk about how Democrats do things. Now, one of the popular subjects around here is how they break everything and then they blame somebody else and then they say, we need more of your money to fix it, and all it does is make things worse. Well, it would be hard to find a better example of that than California, and this time specifically the Pacific Palisades fires, which Governor Newsom was saying, oh, that's global warming. Global warming caused that. Global warming didn't cause that. Homeless people caused that, starting fires in the hills. The Palisades residents were complaining about homeless people trying to get warm by setting fire in the hills, in the forests, in the brush. They can't even start a fire in their backyard that they control, but the homeless people can start fires, and the police can't do anything because the woke leadership won't let them. Oh, those poor unhoused people, they need to get warm. They have rights too. You don't have rights. They have rights. They had a right to start a fire that the fire department apparently knew about, that Los Angeles knew about, and they got the guy. It was arson. That's what started the Pacific Palisades fire. And they didn't make sure the fire was out. They didn't check it. They didn't dig it up. They didn't soak it with water. And it eventually rekindled and burned down thousands of homes and killed at least a dozen people.
It's Karen Bass. I don't know how she's still mayor after what she did. You know, go to Ghana for no reason right during fire season, and then Gavin Newsom saying, it's global warming. It's climate change. It had nothing to do with the fact that we didn't allow people to clear out flammable brush. It had nothing to do with the reservoirs being empty. It had nothing to do with fire hydrants not working. It had nothing to do with incompetent fire and water executives who were hired on the basis of DEI. It had nothing to do with that. It was climate change and the drought. Gavin, 2024-5 was a normal year as far as precipitation. This year, you just said that we're in a permanent drought, climate change. If you look at the water precipitation level in October and so far November in California, we are headed for one of the wettest years in 30 or 40 years. And that happens. It's happened we're not in a permanent, necessary drought. And that's just an excuse for people who give us a left-wing agenda. Oh, you can't clean the forest. You don't want Joe Blow going up to the forest with his chainsaw to get his winter supply of firewood and clean the forest. You don't want a truck going in there and trying to damage the fragile landscape by picking out and taking out, dead trees that are kindling for forest fires.
That wasn't global warming, but that's who they're blaming. But they knew the truth the whole time. The entire woke leadership eventually had it all figured out. Karen Bass, who was in Ghana or someplace. And so we've had all these other issues. The governor of California, he's a complete freaking idiot. He still says it's global warming. They knew it was arson. They destroyed all these homes. Oh, geez, gosh, well, we feel terrible. Tell you what we'll do. We won't let you rebuild. We'll make sure you can't rebuild. We'll set up a regulatory state and a permitting process that makes it so impossible that you will sell your property dirt cheap to whoever wants to buy it, who happens to be somebody associated with the governor of California, very likely. And then we will replace your housing, your nice, beautiful house in the hills, with homeless housing, with workforce housing. We'll have all sorts of centers and things, which will be what? Paid for by the state? That means paid for by taxpayers. So the Democrats and California, through their own stupidity, or maybe even deliberately, because Democrats do like to break things, burned down thousands of homes that were a net gain in revenue for the state through taxes. And what are they going to replace it with? They're going to replace it with something that is a net loss for taxpayers, because those homes won't be affordable. Those apartments won't be affordable unless they are subsidized. And where is that money going to come from? It's not going to come from the people who left. They're going to Texas. They're going to Tennessee. They're leaving. They're gone. This is the core of Democrat government rule. Blame global warming? No. This is Democrats. They did this. And this is what the promise of Democrat rule is. Democrats don't give a damn. They just know that they're right and F you. Happy Monday. Talk to you tomorrow.